Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Welcome to the Sunday service. Before we go any further, please remember to silence your phone so that it doesn't go off during the meditation. And we are going to have a spirited service today with lots of different kinds of music. So we're going to start off with a bit of spirit-led, spirit-fed. The lyrics are in your program. If you are able to, please stand. That's Karen Novi. That's Andres. I'm Chris. That's the other Chris. And here we go.
I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, I am spirit-led. Flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wandering child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, I am spirit-led. There's magic in every day. It's like a beautiful song. And as we're choosing our way, there's a voice inside to guide us along. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere a noise, we are spirit-led. Everywhere a noise, we are spirit-led. Everywhere a noise, we are spirit-led.
Yes, indeed. Woohoo! You may be seated. Thank you. Ooh, it's a festive atmosphere here today. Everybody is like, you got the joy turned up. And that opening song really helped. Thank you very much. Welcome to Unity Center of Peace. I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland-Coen, and to my left is the wonderful Pat Webster, who is our future minister team member, and she is going to anchor us in prayer and meditation and lots of other good things. We are here together today to open our consciousness and open our hearts to have a greater experience, a greater awareness of who we are and our interconnectedness with each other. Sound like a good plan? All right, let's get started. So as Pat lights the divine light candle, I invite you to say our opening invocation, if you would. It's on that buff sheet in the seat in front of you. If you're not yet familiar, just take a moment, look at that, but more importantly, take a moment to connect with your heart center, breathe into that center, feeling that power, that love, that divine life. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. So it is.
And so it is. I surrender. I trust and I know. As I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
wonderful to be here together, falling now into the arms of love, there to hold us, there where we contact the faith, strength, wisdom that supports the love that we give and the love that we receive. With a deep breath, we release anything that stands between us and going deeper into that connection with the divine of us, focusing our attention on that energy field just behind the human heart. That energy field where the God in us is just there. We're so glad to knock on that door this morning. And as we do that, we go into the sacred silence for a couple of minutes, letting ourselves know or feel or be with whatever is there for us, beginning now. And in this place where we all truly are one, rooted in the Big Bang, part of that energy field, we're all one. We're all one in God, divine mind. We may have people who are in our hearts who are struggling this morning, people who are dealing with anything. And while we are in this place of oneness, which has such great power, we speak their names softly aloud. Earl. Knowing that that energy is with them. And we also say a prayer for all the people in and out of our community who have made requests in our prayer box, focusing our energy and attention and gratitude and joy there, knowing that it is God's greatest joy to grant our prayers. And since we ask in the no space, no time of divine mind, it is already so. And we begin now to open our eyes slowly, returning to the outer world and this present moment. Find two people that you will see, make eye contact, and see the divine in them, with you knowing that you are also being seen back as divine. And we will now say our vision and mission, which is also found on this buff sheet. Our vision: we envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission: we center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate a journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is.
Hide and seek.
All right.
There he is.
This is just a nice little chant. If you catch on to the lyrics, it's pretty easy. Grant me courage to go within. Still my wandering heart, O Lord, make fertile my heart. I want to be free, together planting the seed.
Return myself to me.
Turn myself to
Together planting the seed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here we go. I'll repeat it several times, so you'll catch on. Grant me courage to go within, still my wandering mind, oh Lord, make fertile my heart. I wanna be free, return myself to me, oh Lord, together planting the seed. Grant me courage to go within, still my wandering mind, oh Lord, make fertile my heart. I wanna be free, return myself to me, oh Lord, together planting the seed. Grant me courage to go within, still my wandering mind, oh Lord, make fertile my heart. I wanna be free, return myself to me, oh Lord, together planting the seed. Grant me courage to go within, still my wandering mind, oh Lord, make fertile my heart. I wanna be free, return myself to me, oh Lord, together planting the seed.
That was just lovely. That might be one of those that we might want to repeat. That is a good one. Woo! All right, good morning. Good morning. Oh. Commandment number 4, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Now, I'll bet you didn't think that I would start a talk by quoting one of the 10 Commandments, right? Probably the furthest thing from your mind that I would do. But it got your attention, right? It's like, what is she up to with that? So when I was in seminary at One Spirit, one of the books that was required reading was this one, The 10 Challenges by Leonard Felder, PhD. And so in it, he takes the 10 Commandments and he reinterprets it as principles that, while difficult to live into, hence the word challenge, can really be helpful guides for us to live a full, abundant, purpose-filled life, if we understand it in a modern context. And so in the book, he says that the original Hebrew text, that is, and excuse my pronunciation, probably going to mangle this, but I'm going to try, Absirit ha-debrot. Absirit ha-debrot literally translates to the 10 words or the 10 things. So not commandments. That was a mistranslation from the Hebrew to the Greek to the English. 10 words, 10 things. That's a different feel, isn't it? It's a different understanding. It's like, oh, so not the rules that God is commanding us to obey in order to be in his good graces or, go to heaven after we die, but principles for living. Principles for living. And so he reinterprets each of the names of the commandments and, he puts it into something useful. Challenges that we can take on to increase our level of happiness and peace exponentially. So, for example, here is the first commandment, thou shalt have no other gods before me. He reinterprets as discover the still small voice within. Wow, that's different, right? Wow. And he goes on to talk about what that is and how to do that. Another one, commandment number 6, thou shalt not kill, is reinterpreted as what you can do to prevent the crushing of a person's spirit. What you can do to prevent the crushing of a person's spirit. Now that's something we can use, in our life. And so, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy is really the struggle to unhook from everyday pressures and connect with something profoundly joyful. The struggle to unhook from everyday pressures and connect with something profoundly joyful. Isn't that something we all want, right? We all want that and maybe need it, right? And it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy to do that. But here's how we can make it doable. Like anything else, if we break it down into small bite-sized chunks, So one day, the idea of one day a week, or maybe even, when you're starting out, maybe it's just a half a day. That's what you can do, have a half a day. And it doesn't have to be Sunday. And if you're Jewish, it doesn't, unless you're, really religious and your whole family is observing this together, it doesn't have to be Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. The idea is you choose the day. You choose what works for you. One day a week to connect with the heart. One day a week to recharge our batteries. One day a week to disconnect from devices. Ooh. Oh. One day a week to, stop trying to prove ourselves in the world. One day a week to turn our focus inward rather than outward. One day a week to experience who we truly are, that divine life expressing. Again, that just sounds like something that we would want, that we need, this idea of unhooking from, the pressure of trying to make life work and just allow life to unfold in an unstructured way. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds good to me. And yet, when we try to do this, I know for myself, I try to do this, after a while I go, oh, what about that email that I've been expecting? I gotta check my emails. What about that phone call I gotta make, What about that thing that only I can handle? What about, I got a really good picture, right? What about that picture that I can post on Facebook or Instagram? What about those things? And then there's the, what if I get really bored? What if it gets really boring? Right? So it is a challenge. It's a practice, one that I have not mastered at all. But I want to, because the rewards are enormous. What we're after is nurturing our growing consciousness, as we were talking about last month, nurturing our growing consciousness, nurturing our growing awareness of who we truly are, awakening to that divine life that is within us and allowing the fullness of that divine love, to be with us and to radiate throughout our mind and our body. That experience, right? That experience we can't really have in the midst of the busyness of our day, right? It just doesn't come in the midst of a busy life. And so what happens is that the level that we can get to is that maybe we see God outside of ourselves. On a really good day in the middle of our busy week, maybe we can see that God is expressing as the beauty of nature. Maybe we can see God at work in the love and compassion that certain people are sharing in an act of compassion. Maybe we can see God reflected in the smile of a child. And that's all, that's where God is, yes. That's yes. And can we experience more? Can we experience ourselves as that infinite essence, that infinite divine essence expressing? Can we see ourselves? Can we get to the realization that we are that infinite divine presence, and it is all around us. We're living, moving, and having our being in it. Can we get to the realization and the experience that we are that life in which our mind and our body are having a human experience? That is the awareness that I think Chris Nygren, a couple weeks ago when she spoke, you guys, how many of you heard that talk? I think that's what she was talking about, is that about the water, that we are the water in which the fish are swimming, in which the stones of our experience are rippling out onto the water. So that deep realization, that we can't get to that in the middle of the busyness of our life. So that's why we want to take aside one day, free of distractions, and just kind of pause the doingness and just be. Just be. Let's all breathe that in. That experience of just being, right? And then maybe we can live into that awareness that Thich Nhat Hanh so beautifully expressed when he said, enlightenment is when the wave realizes it's the ocean. So not part of the ocean expressing as a wave. And so, I have been sharing with you my sort of journey with my brother this year. Many of you have heard this. And what I really came to realize, I was back out in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago for the funeral. What I realized that he had this really strong core desire to experience himself as the ocean expressing as a wave. I think that was always a part of him. I think that's what drew him to his spiritual community, where he became very much involved, where his life kind of, was surrounded with this. And, when I went to his apartment, the most valuable things when we were cleaning out his apartment were the books. The books. And I was like, wow, he's reading this? There were like notes on the Dhammapada and the Bhagavad Gita and all of these esoteric, sacred texts. And to see what was important to him, where he was highlighting, So we go, oh yeah, that was really speaking to you. And that really helped me. It helps me now. I took those books. It really connect to have that. Oh yeah, that's where so this desire to experience this has really compelled him through his life. And so the burial that we had was a burial at sea. He didn't leave a will or any kind of instructions, which kind of threw us all into a tizzy, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the presentation this afternoon after the service, to please, everybody, have your wishes written down and a will, and take care of that, because then everybody else is just kind of struggling to keep up. But so he didn't leave anything, but we thought when somebody mentioned, do you know you can have a full body burial at sea? I'm not talking about ashes, I'm talking about a full body burial. That used to be reserved for naval officers, but now the public can do it. And you go out 15 miles this is off the coast of California, and there's a place, a latitude and longitude they give you so you know where that is. And you say goodbye and release that into the ocean. And what happens is that the body, there's holes in the casket. So the body, when it goes back to, substance, his body is going back to the ocean. This is where he spent his life, in the ocean. As I've mentioned several times, he was a surfer. And he spent every possible moment in the ocean, because that was his connection with spirit. That was his connection with the one. This is where he realized, that he was the ocean expressing as a wave. And now that's actually happening. On all levels, on all levels. And then the casket becomes a reef. It's made of steel like a ship, when ships sink, they become a habitat for fish. So it just felt so perfect. Yeah. So again, that desire to, fully realize who we truly are, what our source is, I think it's in all of us. In fact, I think it's humanity's need. Humanity's need to discover its source. I think throughout history, humanity has been seeking its source in one way or another. And at different cultures, different, rituals begin, and religions, a different experience of each one in different cultures, depending on where you're from. But at the bottom of that, the core of that, there's this need that humanity has to experience its source. This is why it's really important for us to honor that deep desire and honor that need that we have to experience ourselves, to have that experience. And when we do, when we begin to realize that we are this infinite source expressing in an individualized way, then maybe we can begin to realize that we are swimming in a sea of limitless possibility. We're swimming in an ocean of good. We're swimming in an ocean of infinite potential. And not only are we swimming in this, not only are we living, moving, and having our being in this, but because we are conscious beings, because we are conscious co-creators, we have the ability to call forth from this infinite potential that's just waiting here. We have the ability to call forth what it is we truly desire to experience in our lives. That's our power as co-creator. This is our self-authority, our power of power. Speak the word, call it forth. So I want you to think about something that you really desire to have, to do, to be, whatever. Don't be shy. Think about it. You know, if it's more love in your life, companionship, more abundance of something, more peace, more joy, you know, a fulfilling experience, success, whatever it is. Just think about it for a moment. Just be with it, embrace that. Okay, so know that that is already yours. It is already yours. It's already here in the absolute, in the infinite divine mind, but it will remain only in potential until you realize that you're a co-creator and you call it forth. And this is what we're doing with affirmative prayer. This is the tool we have in Unity. Affirmative prayer is a step-by-step process for realizing our oneness with this divine possibility and calling it forth and bringing it into our experience. Right? Bringing it into that reality for us. So, one of my favorite passages in Emily Cady's book, Lessons in Truth, and Emily Cady was a leader in New Thought, and she had a big influence on the Fillmores. And Lessons in Truth, she says, one of the unerring truths of the universe is that there is already provided a lavish abundance for every human want. The supply of every good always awaits the demand. Another truth is that the demand must be made before the supply can come to fill it. To recognize these two statements of truth and to affirm them are the whole secret of understanding faith. Faith based on principle. Don't you just want to marinate in that awareness? Just, really experience what that means. And I think, to really embody it, to really get it, we need to do that. This is why we set aside time and space in order to open to that deeper awareness, right? It's a deeper awareness. So let's talk now about ways that we can do that. Ways that we can access that deep awareness and really we're creating the container for this deeper experience of who we truly are and life in general to happen. We don't want to do anything. Remember, we're pausing the doing and we're being, but we're also setting the stage. We also want to set the stage for this to occur. So what are some of the ways that we can do that? So, one of the things is we can have, on that day, our day of Sabbath, we can have an extended meditation. Or maybe a visualization or a visioning process that we do. And then from that, we can do the affirmative prayer work. Right? Nature, being in nature. My goodness. There's such a beautiful way. And we're so blessed to be in North Carolina, I have to say. It's just, you walk out your door and there you are in the forest. Wow. It's right here. To just be in nature and experience that connection. And, you know, you can also invite your family to do this with you. And I know, you know, because I had young kids too. And if you have children, you're probably going, oh, well, this is all well and good. If you are single and you have no responsibility, I got kids, you know, what am I going to do there? And I had the same experience. I had the same challenge, you know, when my twins were young. How do I do this? And honestly, you can't take a whole day, really, basically, unless they go away to camp, right? Then you go. But, you know, I would, every, like, time they napped, you know, I was like, oh, yes, I got a moment to meditate here. Every time they like went for a play date at, you know, a friend's house, ooh, now there's a nice chunk of time. You know, I can actually do some really work on the stuff that's important to me. And, you know, some of these things that we can do together and get creative together. So I want to open it up to have a discussion about what you have done that's worked for you, or an idea that you might have to help facilitate this, setting the stage for this awareness to blossom inside of you. Anybody want to share an idea that you have done, or you think maybe might be a good idea? Yeah, Mary Angela.
I work for the children's program, and then when you're planning to teach them spirit, you're reawakening things on a very basic level.
Yeah.
And sometimes we forget that the basic is really the most powerful.
Right. For those of you on the live stream, I'll try to repeat. So she was working for the children's program and realizing that when you're working on that for them, you're awakening it within yourself on a basic level. Sometimes it's the basics that really can make a huge difference. Yeah, truly.
Well, I'll back on that.
Or add to that is like taking a walk out in nature and holding the hand imaginatively of your inner child and having a conversation with that child and listen to what they say back.
Ooh, I love that. That's a great thing. We all heard that because the speaker was on. Yeah, thank you.
Intuitive journaling.
Intuitive journaling. Okay, Gaines says intuitive journaling. So journaling, we know what journaling is. So intuitive is really getting in touch with your inner voice, your inner intuition, and allowing it to write on the page. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, Cheryl.
To add something to what Gaines said, using journaling for personal inquiry, so ask a question instead of presenting it to others, ask it of yourself. And do the question in one color of ink and then pick up another color of ink to answer it.
Ooh,
and answer it from your heart.
Oh, that's good. So if you didn't hear that, Cheryl's is suggesting journaling where you're asking the question. What did you call it? Inquiry?
Personal inquiry.
Personal inquiry, where you can ask the question in one color ink and then you take another color ink and you're allowing the answer to come forth from a deep place, I think, probably, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else have an idea to share how we can do this? I think, you know, getting creative. Somebody was talking about dance yesterday, right? Isn't that a beautiful way to really get that spirit in your body? We're spirit, mind, and body people. So movement, any kind of movement, you know, kind of opens us up for a deeper realization to occur. Or if you're, you know, a songwriter, if you're playing an instrument, if you're an artist, you're painting, I think all of these things really, it really kind of help get us to that place where we can invite in that consciousness that really wants, that we're nurturing our spirit here. We're caring for our soul. We are unhooking, we're setting aside some time to unhook from the pressure of our everyday life and connect with something truly joyful. And honestly, joy is something that will absolutely begin to grow over time as we do this. The self-inquiry thing can bring up a lot of things that maybe we need to kind of work through. But how freeing that is to do that. And that obviously leads to joy when we're free of all of that stuff. All right, so how many people are going to try this idea? Creating a little Sabbath. I see your hands going up there. All right, good. All right, let's do it, okay? All right, namaste.
All right, so this song is a little campy, but it goes very well with the message. It's called "Decisions of the Soul," and it's by this guy Richard Medici, however you say his name, from the Unity folks. He's quite a funny young guy, or old guy, whatever. Anyway, and we have a special instrument with us today.
That's cute.
Why some men crawl and some men fly? It's a decision of the soul. Life is always what you make it. You can live or you can fake it. It's a decision of the soul. Anytime you're rearranging, it's the soul that does the changing. You can use your inspiration to extend your limitations. It's a decision of the soul. Anytime you're rearranging, it's the soul that does the changing. Super duper. Life's a book, so turn the pages. Seek the wisdom of the ages. It's a decision of the soul. It's the soul that does the changing. Super duper. Life's a book, so turn the pages. Seek the wisdom of the ages. It's a decision of the soul. It's a decision of the soul. It's a decision of the soul.
Lots of soul food here today. This is the time when we engage in the sacred ceremony of giving and receiving from our wonderful community. Such an alive community. I had to design a course to teach for one of my school classes, And I was going, well, meditation, where are you doing that? Remember Victoria was teaching a class. You know, we have so much to offer here. And we remember that as we give our love and energy in the form of money, which is a form of love, it comes back to us exponentially. Prosperity in many forms. So there are many ways to give, and you can drop some money in the basket. You can drop one of these cards in that backs up a monthly amount. You can put some money in the envelope. You can text. So let's hold up whatever we're giving or intend to give and say the blessing of the gifts, which is on the bottom of this buff sheet. Here we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. So it is.
If you remember the words, this is the power of love. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth.
Wonderful. So let's allow ourselves to have an experience of this divine love that is moving through us, that we have just shared a portion of that love in physical form, and allow that energy to circulate back to us. So we just bless these ties, these gifts, these offerings, knowing that that infinite possibility is right here. Infinite possibility of infinite, limitless good. This is a manifestation of it, and we know that it continues to bless this community and out as we bless others, and we are blessed. Pressed down, multiplied, and running over with good. And so it is. Thank you. Oh, and here's the prayer request box that Mary's taking back and putting on the table in the foyer. So if you would like to have your prayer prayed over during the service and also by the prayer team that month, we pray over these the whole month, then please go ahead and write out your request and just put it in the box. All right, and I'm just wondering, we have some wonderful, beautiful faces here. Love seeing all your beautiful faces. Is there anybody who might be here visiting us for the first time today? Oh, yes, okay. Aaron, we're going to introduce you in a minute. Aaron Edgar, who is here to give a wonderful presentation after the service. So we're going to break and have a little nosh and come back in and listen to her beautiful presentation, which we'll talk about in a minute. So thank you for being here, and one more piece of music from Bright Matter.
So I wrote this song. This is, sometimes my soul can get dark, so I wrote a song to myself about maybe lightening up. So this is called Soul Swing, and it's got backing tracks. So this is a little experimental. And we rap. Heart of mine, are you pride open, let the light melt the ice inside of you. And will you recognize the truth that stares you in the face, the path that leads you to a place to let you see through the opaque heart of mine? When I'm troubled, are you listening? And do you try to guide me through the gloom? And when I'm running fast, will you keep me from a painful state and bring about the harmony to ease my mind and let my soul heart of mine? Is the past your biggest enemy that makes it hard to purge the demons of your mind? Or is the future bright? And are you feeling ecstasy of placid spirituality? Will lift my voice and hear me sing. Let me see a vision bright. Let me see through the opaque. Help me keep my dreams alive. Let me share the gifts I bring to bring about the harmony to ease my mind and let my soul swing. Let my soul swing. Let my soul swing. Heart of mine, are you looking for wishing well, or do you find the treasures where they dwell? Oh, and then heart of mine, if you have an inclination, please remind me what it is I'm living for. Let me see a vision bright. Let me see through the opaque. Help me keep my dreams alive. Let me share the gifts I bring to bring about the harmony to ease my mind and let my soul swing. Let my soul swing. Let my soul swing. Heart of mine, looking for wishing well, or do you find the treasures where they dwell? Oh, and then one more thing, if you have an inclination, please remind me what it is I'm living for. Heart of mine.
I did it. The other day I was speaking at my friend's memorial service. I was about to say a quote that my friend asked that I share at his.
Wow, that was wild.
Well, that was wild, but that worked. I like that. Let's keep that in there.
How could the soul not bebop after that?
Okay, this is the first of the month, and so we sing happy birthday to all of our June babies. Will our June babies raise their hand? We have any June babies? Yay! Here we go, Jamie. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
So, all kinds of things going on. If you haven't gotten
Your UCP t-shirt, please stand up, Mary Angela. Yeah, it comes in various sizes. It costs $25 each. It's a way to show off your pride in belonging to this community and letting other people ask about you out in public. So you can see Debbie in the office to help you choose one. We're going back to Adopt the Highway for the first time since 2020, pre-COVID. It'll be this Saturday, and it'll be the Sewell School Road, and we'll meet at 9:30 a.m. There's a sign-up sheet on the back table. Next Sunday, June 11th, right after the service,
There's going to be a prayer tree ceremony with shamanic practitioner Katie O'Leary, Bagai, as she guides us through the ancient practice of communing with nature by sending prayers for healing and peace to ourselves, our families, our communities, and this beautiful web of life across the whole planet. June 15th, a Thursday night, coming up, I guess, in about a week from Thursday, at 7 p.m., there's going to be a fundraiser for Ukraine. And we're going to welcome Yuri Vednishki. That's the best I can do with that. From Ukraine, and he's an artist, and he's going to feature national instruments that he'll be playing and demonstrating. It's a concert, a lecture, and a presentation of the bandura, the kobza, and the torban in support of Ukraine today. And I think Victoria understood that was in support of the arts, because you artists give us the spirit and the soul to keep doing the hard stuff. You can't have a good community or country without artists. Yeah. And you can stay connected with us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. If you need a little uplift during the week, we're available all kinds of ways. And for more details, you can also check out our ways to do that on the UCP Facebook page. We have a special thing that happens after service every Sunday, and that is our 3-minute miracle. We have one of our trained prayer chaplains to pray with you. Anybody who needs a prayer for any kind of thing that you want prayed for, or to celebrate or say some gratitude for. Our prayer chaplain this Sunday is our wonderful, experienced for many years prayer chaplain and co-chair of the prayer team, Lorraine Lewis. And you can sit in the you can stand in the hallway that goes straight ahead, and she'll be praying with you on the door to the left, and just make a line and prayer up. Okay. You want to talk about the legacy giving? Sorry.
Yes.
This
one. Thank you. Yes, and so as I mentioned, we have a special guest today, Erin Egger, who is sitting here in the front, and she's going to be sharing with us how to make a legacy gift, which is really, and as I mentioned in the talk, how important it is to leave instructions and we never think we're going to go, but we just don't know, right? And so our family and our communities that we love and support, need to know what we want to do with what we're leaving here. We can't take it with us, right? So she is here to talk about it. She is a PLLC. I'm sure we'll find out what that means when she comes up to talk. So this is about charitable giving and an estate plan, and to really support the organizations that you believe in and you want to see continue. Leave a legacy gift. So let's go after the service, get some refreshments, and come back in, because she's gracing us with her wonderful wisdom today. So thank you for being here, Erin. And we've got any more? There's no deeper dive discussion today after the service because of this presentation. And I already mentioned Sacred Cafe. So here we are.
Yeah, and one more thing, just tailing onto that. Carl Jung said, "Get your affairs in order and then live as if you're going to live until you're 400. Now, since I used to be a nurse in a previous life and I had major surgery in January, I did everything, redid my will. I even have a list of music for my memorial service.
Oh, wow.
Feels good.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, all those
love that.
instructions. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So it's time to welcome in our children.
radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, beam of God. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am.
Hello, everyone. For those
Hello.
who don't know me, I'm Shannon. I'm the new YFM person, and that's okay. You sure? Yeah. This is my third Sunday here. So I'm having so much fun. Today we still worked on this model or this picture. We have obstacles and boulders, which are stuck thinking. The grass is the growth that we have in those areas of the wood, and then also the obstacles. The beaches, my favorite, which is rest and meditation and prayer. And then the blue is the flow, the love, and the yumminess of a really good pizza. All right.
I did black and glitter to represent good and bad, like my brother. He annoys me 80% of the day. And I did a lot of obstacles and a lot of glitter.
Yay for glitter.
Can we see her, Shannon?
If she wants to show, she may not want to show.
Can we see your
Do you want to say anything? Silence is golden. Just a note, one last thing. I am going to be looking for volunteers for Sunday. Come on up once a quarter. I'll send out an email. Thank you very, very, very much.
Okay, yay. So we'll do our blessing, which is also found on the back of this buff sheet. We send our love energy to the children and say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are, and we behold the Christ in you. Mwah. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So it's time to stand and say our prayer of protection, followed by holding hands and singing the peace song. And also, that's found also on the back of this buff sheet. Here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's hold hands and sing that wonderful peace song.